Well, hello there, Internet family, and welcome back to the Tea with Lee podcast. Yes, the anticipated return has finally arrived. I am delighted to speak to you all again from a hotel in Finland. I'm currently out in Finland, Turku to be specific, as we prepare for the launch of Carnival Celebration. And I'm so excited to be a part of everything that we are doing out here. Now, this contract, I am looking to revive the podcast. My initial intention with the launch of this show, if you will, was to take the podcast on board, to take time to sit down with my fellow crew members, maybe the occasional guest, to grab a cup of tea or a hot drink of their choice, and to have a bit of a conversation, to have a chat, and to let you into this wonderful world that is the ship life from both the crew's perspective and the guest perspective. And I thought now more than ever is the perfect time to revive the show. So welcome back. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in and for your support. I know it's been a little while, and I do apologize for that. So, how have you been? Wonderful. Now let me tell you how I've been. I've been great. I had a wonderful vacation. I got time out in America. I went to visit Geraldine, who was hard at work in the Carnival studios with the Carnival Celebration center stage cast as they've been devising the new shows, new shows for our Celebration Central stage, which for those of you that have cruised on Mardi Gras will recognize as Grand Central, that beautiful atrium-esque space with the gorgeous windows and those fascinating screens, the coffee shop, the Carnival apparel store, as well as the watch store up on deck 8, the sushi, the teppanyaki, that beautiful deck 6, 7, and 8 midship area. She's been very excited about the work that's been done in the rehearsal studios, and hopefully over the coming weeks you'll find out more and more about those shows, but they are definitely not to be missed. So I had about 12 days out in Florida with her. We got to explore the Florida area. I made a reservation for a micro studio apartment on Airbnb, which felt like quite a gamble at the time. I'm used to staying in hotels whenever I go on my adventures, but I went out on a limb because it was 12 days, and I mean, I'm not a miser, but I wasn't wanting to spend a fortune. We only needed somewhere to stay and potentially to have cooking facilities, which I think we used to make toast and cereal. But when I was booking, I thought maybe we were going to cook lunches and dinners and stuff. But Uber Eats was our friend. And I had such an incredible time. We explored the Miami area, if you will. We were out in Davie, Florida, of course, for the studios. The studio apartment was in Fort Lauderdale, and then we drove down to Miami a couple of times to explore an adventure. I was really excited to see Miami because, believe it or not, in all of my time cruising with Carnival, I've yet to call Miami my home port. And as soon as Celebration is going to be making her home there, I wanted to check out the lay of the land, see the cruise terminal and everything that's in the surrounding area. So we did our best there. I also got to hang out with a good friend of mine, Jeff. Jeff Edstrom was formerly a media manager with Carnival. Media managers are the people that deal with the Carnival Hub app, the What's Happening guide, the Once Upon a Time Fun Times, and they are responsible for inputting all of the information from the various departments around the ship with opening times and what's happening. They also oversee the movies as well. They help coordinate the movies and sports broadcasts. So it's an incredibly responsible job. Jeff, unfortunately, he's a great friend of mine. He moved on to Pastors New and explored other avenues and opportunities, which he's doing incredible at. So as much as we miss him, I am super excited for everything that he is doing in his life. And of course, we stay in touch. He's always been a huge supporter and an incredible friend. So it was great to see him when I was over in Florida as well. I got time home with my mum and my nana. Many of you ask about those beautiful ladies, and I got time with both of them. Some real quality time with my mum. And I've got to say, as the years go on, I appreciate my bond with her more and more. And just when I think we couldn't get closer, we do. She's my best advisor in both life and business. And then, of course, my Nana never changes. She's like timeless. She is 95 this year. I say 95 with hesitation because I lost a year of my life. Or should I say, I gained a year of my life. For the longest time, I thought I was 36, and that would put my Nana at 96. But it turns out that a very reliable source, aka the woman that gave birth to me, I mean, it's quite a monumental day in her calendar. But she's told me that I'm 35, which would then make my Nana 95. But it's been somewhat confusing for me to discover that this year. But yeah, anyway, my Nana is 95 and she's just so incredible. I don't know if you're anything like me, but the woman that my Nana is today is the woman that I always remember her as. Despite me growing up and her being in her 50s, I just look at her, and this is how I've always known her, how I will always remember her. She's just so incredible and so timeless, and doing really well. So it's been a great vacation for my soul and getting time with family. I also got to play a key role in one of my best friend's weddings. Richard, who I went to the American Musical and Dramatic Academy with during my time in New York City. We lived together. We roomed together in Harlem and down in Hell's Kitchen. He's been like a brother to me. He reached out and asked me to be the officiant for his wedding with his beautiful wife, Anne Marie, who he met while he was performing on the national tour of the Mel Brooks musical, The Producers. Richard is insanely talented, charming, and everything else. And he managed to woo this wonderful woman into his life. And I was honored to join them in holy matrimony. I got ordained online. There's a wonderful website. So I am now a minister of the Universal Life Church, allowing me to officially hold ceremonies of all sorts of religious groups, which is really exciting. I mean, I don't have anything else in my calendar yet, but if you've got a wedding, a bar mitzvah, dare I even say it, a funeral or anything like that, I could now officiate it legally, which is kind of cool. So I went out and Geraldine finished her rehearsals in Florida, so she flew up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I flew there from the UK. We met up together, hopped in a car, and drove down to West Virginia, which, my word, what an ordeal that was. I hope no one from Dollar, the car rental company, is listening, because I'm going to tell all. But we rented our car, and on the drive in the dark and the thick fog on our way down to West Virginia, we actually ran over a loose tire. Not a wheel, just a rubbery bit of tire. And it shot right under the car, scared the living daylights out of both of us, me more than Geraldine, I guess because I was the driver. The car was fine, we were fine. But of course, anything to do with a rental, it makes you nervous because you could pay a fortune for any damages or anything. But yeah, so we drove down to West Virginia. We explored West Virginia, a really exciting state. We were in Charleston, which has got a lovely little bookstore / coffee house. Geraldine loves books. I love coffee and cake. That's my inner fat man adding in the cake. But yeah, I love cake. We had a cheesecake that changed my life. It was, I think, a white chocolate cheesecake, and I'm starving and salivating now just recalling it. So we had coffee, cake. She bought a few books. I perused the books, but I can't confess to being an avid reader, but I do like a good audio book. So I added to my list of audiobooks to listen to. And in fact, I recently discovered an app that you can download summaries, like 15-minute summaries, much to Geraldine's disappointment. I've got heavily into these top-level summaries of very popular books. So I managed to find a summary of a couple of the books in the bookstore, whereas she is very much into paper books. So she picked up a couple of books there. What else have I been doing? I've been trying to learn French. Geraldine is half French, and after watching some property shows at home with my mum, a daydream might be buying a house in France. The only pitfall to that was going to be that I don't speak French. So I've been using Duolingo. I don't know if you have any experience with Duolingo, but I've been doing pretty well on there so far, learning French and a little bit of Finnish because I'm out here in Finland. Um, anyway, I digress. We did the wedding, then we flew home, spent a little more time with my mum, and I hopped on the plane and flew out here to Finland. It's the end of the first week in the shipyard, and it has been so incredibly exciting to meet up with my crew family, to see Calvin, our entertainment director, Pierre, the hotel director, Heidi, our human resources director, and so many other members of the Celebration family, and of course getting to see the ship for the very first time as well. From the outside, she looks incredible. Of course, the construction teams in the shipyard are still very much hard at work. The venues inside are getting finished off, but the areas that I've seen that are near completion, oh, they just give me butterflies. For those of you that love the Punchline, the comedy club, I hope you love that space as much as I do. It looks wonderful. And I'm so excited to chart the progress of the ship as more and more of these venues reach completion, as we start to load stuff in and practice and put the events in these spaces. So, with the ship being in a construction phase, we currently have an office in the shipyard, a remote office where I'm hard at work starting a lot of the paperwork. The Fun Squad and Calvin and I are going through scheduling and putting plans together. So very soon I'll be able to share with you, of course, events that you maybe want to plan for, maybe some themed parties, costumes and stuff. We've got new events. We've got some seldom hosted events that I'm really excited to start doing on the ship. And although they're not brand new, I'm not sure you will have been a part of them on other ships, so they're going to feel new. Of course, I'm such a tease. I'm not telling you anything right now, but this is just our ice-breaking episode of the podcast, of course, before we start to get the show on the road in the days to come. Anyway, this is me checking in with you all again, saying hi, giving you a little update, and yeah. Okay, one more little bit. I know you were desperate for more. So the cast are arriving over the course of the weekend into next week. That's the Centre Stage cast and our wonderful playlist performers who have also been working on a new show for you. They'll be bringing two much-loved shows from across the Carnival fleet, but they are currently devising a new show with the incredible Mr. Paul Roberts. If you don't know who Paul Roberts is, he helped create Flick, Celestial Strings, and our Welcome Aboard show that many of you will have been to. He's also worked with some icons like Prince. I believe he worked with Diana Ross. This is off the top of my head, so he might not have worked with Diana Ross. I know he worked with Prince, One Direction, Harry Styles separately, the Spice Girls World Tour. So if you want to know more about Paul, hop online, Google him, Paul Roberts, choreographer, and you'll find his website and about him. We are so lucky to have him on the team, and of course, creating the shows. The teams themselves, the cast themselves, are thrilled to be working with him. He's a great guy. So yeah, there's your little teaser for the day. What's the show called? What's it about? What's the music in it going to be like? You're going to have to tune back in future episodes when I sit down with Beth, our playlist cast manager, and maybe she'll tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, that's it from me. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. in the not too distant future. Until then, have fun, be safe, make memories, and I can't wait to cruise with you all soon. Bye for now, everyone.